Hey everyone, with me here is a 2021 GMC Canyon AT4, and that means it's time to throw a tailgate pad on this thing and demonstrate what it's like to haul a mountain bike over the tailgate of a Canyon. Keep in mind that the Canyon is mechanically identical to the Chevrolet Colorado, so this review will apply to both the Canyon and the Colorado as well. Nothing too complicated about the Canyon's bed here. You'll notice that it is made completely of steel. Something worth noting is that it comes with these clever steps integrated into the bumper corners. So you'll find these on a lot of full-size trucks, but this is kind of uncommon in the mid-size segment. Makes it easier to climb in to the bed to load and unload things. Here's your tailgate handle. Backup camera is located right here. This tailgate does lock and unlock with the central locking system of the vehicle, which is nice. It's also nicely damped. For this review, we'll be using this Dakine size small DLX tailgate pad. This is the current generation tailgate pad offered by Dakine. They offer a few, but this is the one that I found to be the most universally appealing. It's offered in both size small, which is made for mid-size trucks like the Canyon, in addition to size large, which is made for full-size trucks like the Ford F-150, Toyota Tundra, Chevy Silverado, and others. Pro tip, this DLX pad, the straps come with a plastic coating for the top like 8 inches of them. Makes it a little bit stiffer, makes it easier to feed it through between the tailgate and the bed. When you're feeding the straps through the clips here, it's good to pull the plastic part all the way through and then feed it through the other side. That's because it's hard to make that, I guess, 180-degree turn with the plastic part. So you'll get the hang of it, I guess. I'll demonstrate it better on this one. So what you could do is just feed the plastic part through right here. But easiest way, pull the plastic part all the way through and then feed the whole thing through the other side, if that makes sense. Always remember to clip these clips down as well, or else the pad will loosen itself while you're doing the other straps. Okay, so here it is. This newer design is a little bit more finicky to get on than the older pad that I had been using. A couple things of note. There's no padding on the inside of the tailgate, so the top of the padding you'll want to make sure is aligned with the top of the tailgate here. When I had put this on for the first time, I had the padding actually too far over this way, but just know that the padding will stop at the inside top part of the tailgate. Something that's convenient here is you get this big flap that can be attached right here to this loop via this clip here. A little bit tricky to do one-handed, but you get the idea. And the idea there is that it allows access to the handle and provides view for the backup camera, which is important to consider on these modern trucks. And it's Velcroed, so it stays in place and you don't have it folded up. This pad has provisions for 5 bikes. The size of large has provisions for up to 7 bikes. Coverage is pretty good. Now it's time to throw my bike on and see how it all fits. So you'll notice the tire is coming into contact with the taillight here and a little bit with the tailgate itself as well. So if you're gonna have a bike on one of these extreme sides, you'll wanna have the fork turned this way. Okay, here you go. Not that that's a real difficult process, but a couple things I noticed. As I mentioned, with the handlebars turned in the opposite direction, this tire comes into contact with either the taillight or the tailgate. And if you're gonna be traveling long distances, you don't want that to be the case. So you wanna make sure that your handlebars are turned in this direction. Problem that presents itself there though, this tailgate pad is made to hold 5 bikes. So if you're ever hauling 5 bikes on this pad, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If this bike has its handlebars turned that way, then this 5th bike in this position is going to have its handlebars turned that way as well, meaning its tire will then be coming into contact with the taillight or the tailgate. Probably not a big issue over long distances. If you're gonna be on a bumpy road though, that could wear into either the taillight or the paint on the outside of the tailgate here. So something to keep in mind. I'm not sure how you'd account for that. Anyway though, while this pad doesn't have blocks that keep the bikes from sliding off the side, it does have these Velcro tie-down points. So I've got my bike's down tube tied into place here. It's probably not going to go anywhere. Seems pretty secure. I should mention this is a size large 2017 Santa Cruz Bronson, and these are 27.5-inch tires, also known as 650B. And these ones up front are 2.5 width. So the Canyon has a pretty utilitarian bed, like I mentioned, kind of opposite the beds in the Toyota Tacoma and Honda Ridgeline, both of which are kind of shallow. So this one allows for the bike to sit pretty deep in the bed. I'm not at all worried about it bouncing out. Not that I was even worried in the Honda Ridgeline. This method of hauling a bike over the tailgate of a pickup is pretty foolproof, especially when you have the bikes tied down. And one more thing to note, this opening here lines up pretty well with the Canyon's tailgate handle and the backup camera. Although this pad does move around a little bit more than I'd like for it to. You can see it's kind of shifting off the top of the tailgate here. You got to make sure it's really, really tight on there. So there's how you go about hauling a bike over the tailgate of a GMC Canyon. Keep in mind, the same applies to the Chevrolet Colorado. Pretty straightforward process. Stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.